Most prisons probably do not boast about having a wall of fame, but if you ask the staff at Haynesville Correctional Center, they'll say they have one, and it has been collecting names for more than 2 decades. These are state licenses granted to individuals who have taken and passed both the written and practical exams to become licensed barbers in Virginia. And from this room, more than 600 have been earned, each one representing an individual who trained under the guidance of master barber and cosmetologist Robert Fauntleroy, who has dedicated more than 25 years to helping the men of Haynesville leave prison with employable skills and business knowledge to become barbershop owners.
I came to Haynesville at the end of '93, and I knew that I had a purpose, here at Haynesville. I looked around, I seen a lot of guys that are, that were in need for something that they could take out in society and be successful in.
We met some of his graduates in 2016 when they accepted an invitation to return to Haynesville to speak with the current class. Each one shared valuable information about their transition back to society and finding employment. They also talked ownership, teaching, and other aspirations, all pointing to Mr. Fauntleroy as the model for what they would like to become.
After I graduated the class, I would sit as an aide and watch him watch the class and try to see what he saw and how he would see the things that he was seeing.
Now I have a sense of purpose in my life, and I can see myself owning a shop, having my own house, having my own business to give other people opportunities the same way I was given opportunity.
Between operating his own businesses and teaching at Haynesville, there's very little time for Mr. Fauntleroy to do much else, which is why it came as no surprise to discover that in nearly 3 decades of teaching, he has never visited a barbershop owned by any of his graduates. This had to change. Upon our request, Mr. Fauntleroy cleared his schedule to accompany us on 3 visits to shops owned and operated by former students. Our first stop, Fredericksburg, Virginia. The shop, Faded & Company, owner Antoine Cary. Since his release in 2014, Cary has used his image and his voice as tools to impress upon his community the importance of making positive decisions and the real consequences of criminal behavior. He recently produced a documentary film on his life before, during, and after incarceration, and it's not unusual to find Cary speaking for various community groups in area schools and inside prison walls.
Morning, bro. All right, Antoine, bro. How you doing, man? What's happening with you, bro? All right, Faded, bro.
But on this day, he's in the barbershop.
Mr. Fauntleroy, bro. What's happening, bro? What's good, bro? Doing all right, man. Good to see you, bro. Yeah,
Yes, indeed. It's great
all
to
right.
be here. Great to be here. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't be so proud.
Something small, man. Something real small, man.
Faded Company. Awesome, man.
Yeah,
Awesome.
glad to have you here, bro.
Yes,
Pleasure to have you
the
here,
highlight
man.
of Fredericksburg now.
That's what they say.
Yes, you are the highlight of Fredericksburg.
Man,
Yes, indeed.
I never really had intentions on being a barber. I never cut my cousins or nephews, anybody hair. Ideally, I got into the barber class to, be able to kick it with the guys on the other side of the yard. However, once given this trade, this skill set, I knew that I could provide for me. Upon coming home, I never did good with glass ceilings. When I seen the next level, like, all right, I want to go to the next level. When I attribute a lot of that to Mr. Fauntleroy, it's like, I've seen what he's been able to do. So, like, I would like to, reach the levels that I've seen those that was before me reach. Opening up of the barber shop was mainly, I was in a shop downtown Fredericksburg. I would go to the shop every morning. I didn't have clientele because I'm not from this area. I had a key to open up the shop. Being able to open up the shop and just sit and look out that window and sip a cup of coffee every day is like, I wanted this for myself. So that's what led into the, actually starting Faded & Company. I wanted to own a shop. A lot of guys, and I took a lot of this from Mr. Fauntleroy's classes, like professionalism. Faded & Company, we want to pride ourselves on the things that distinguish us from other barbershops. Yes, we're going to have licensed barbers here. There's not going to be someone here that's cutting hair that shouldn't be cutting hair.
Being a professional, you did that yourself, you know. You absorbed everything that we had there at Haynesville. You took the opportunity to come to class every day when you could have been doing a whole lot of other things on the institution, you know. But you had the desire and the working ability to come in, you know, and serve as a barber student, you know. And then you have came out here and you have made me so proud. You know, it's a privilege to be here.
You know, son want to make pops proud type time. You know, I want to see you on the sideline cheering for me, you know what I'm saying, when I, you know, score my first touchdown, things of that sort. You know, it's a sense of accomplishment to, you know, just be acknowledged by, you know, the master, you know. You know, I'm no longer the little grasshopper. I applaud, you know, everything that you've done, not only for me, but for all of the other men that came through there, just because, like, I even though I don't speak with you so much, I speak with them, and I know how much having that barber's license has paved the way forward, you know, the opportunities that all of us have, you know. So to have you here in the midst of, you know, my little successes, like, man, that's rewarding. That's big for me.
It's great to be here. It's great to be here. I mean, traveling into the Fredericksburg area, it meant a lot to me. This was like the first time I came outside of Haynesville and had the opportunity to come out and go into some of my students' shops that they own. And it was so touching to be there, just knowing that just a few weeks before then, he had his own documentary done, you know, and for me to have the opportunity to, you know, leave the prison and go outside was amazing.
For the next stop on this journey, we stay in Richmond. The shop, Blade Therapy, owned in part by Marquis' cousins. Released from Haynesville in 2015, the man known as Keys has moved quickly to turn his passion into a career that allows him to provide for his family and continue to use his life experience to encourage and empower others.
I love cutting hair. I'm very passionate about it. And I know that we can take our passion and allow our passion to work for us. If we work our passion will work for us. And so that's just the thing that I try to do every day and strive to be a better barber each and every day, because I know that as long as we focus on our passion and we work our passion, it'll keep us moving. There's 4 of us in here, myself, my partner, and our young boy, we call him Jay, and our stylist Tia. And we're a family in here, and we have a good time. You know, we have a really good time in here. We enjoy one another's company. And our goal is to make everyone else that comes in here feel like company and feel like family and feel welcome while they get quality service. You know, so often when you receive a felony, people count you out. But, you know, even though I was cutting hair before, Mr. Fauntleroy's, his class, man, and everything that he poured into us, and his instructors in there, and they poured into us, it really gave us that confidence to come out and get to the grind and really be a success, man, and stay focused.
For me, this is just a special day. I get to come away from my class to come into the Richmond area and pay homage to you and what you're doing and your success story. I'm just thank God that I was able to be a part of this, you know, and part of the journey.
Oh man, it's an honor to have you guys, you know, come. For me to be chosen as one of the ones for the documentary, that truly is an honor. Because to me, that just, in a sense, pays homage to the hard work and diligence that I put in, which Mr. Fauntleroy poured into. So it's really an honor. You know, I reflect upon the stories that Mr. Fauntleroy shared with us oftentimes when he would come in there and he'd be tired, and he said he was in the shop grinding until late, you know, and now I'm at that point where I experience that late grind and see what it is, and Mr. Fauntleroy, he's a success, you know, and with him having his career at Haynesville and having a salon outside of Haynesville, and he still keeps on grinding, you know, that I see his passion for what he does, and I appreciate that. And I want to have that same passion and display that same passion for this industry as well. It makes me feel good, man, that people can draw encouragement from my journey and the fact that my license is on his wall or my picture is on his wall.
Thank you, man, for giving me this opportunity. I'm proud of you, just like if you were my own child, you know, my own son. Stay focused, stay successful, because you're there, man. Mr. Cousins is unique. He always had the zeal and the passion, you know, for the profession, and going there and the atmosphere that he had in his shop. You know, it also intrigued me. And just seeing him that day, you know, it just gave me a good feeling all over, you know.
Our final stop on this journey is Sharpline Cuts in Ashburn, Virginia. Here we met up with shop owner and barber instructor Franklin Holmes. Incarcerated in 1988, Holmes was transferred to Haynesville in 1996. There he met instructor Fauntleroy, and as they say, the rest is history. Since his release in 2009, Holmes has carefully executed his business plan, and he now owns Loudoun County's premier barbershop.
I've really got the idea with Sharpline Cuts from when I was at Haynesville Correctional Center. The setup here is almost a little similar to it. I always knew I wanted to be a business owner. Before I did that, when I was released from Haynesville, a friend of mine had a barbershop and I worked for him. So he asked me to work for him for 2 years, but I decided, man, I'm gonna work for you for 4 years because I wanted to learn the in and outs about the business. And pretty much that's how we got started. We learned in prison different types of cutting techniques. And the interesting thing about learning in a setting like that was we come across all type of textures of hair. And we just took advantage of that and learned how to cut it. So coming to this area, the diversity is amazing. And being a shop that can cut all type of textures of hair is basically that's what's drawing people to come to us. But again, we got that from Mr. Fauntleroy at Haynesville Correctional Center.
Serving clients of all hair textures translates to a steady flow of customers, and it's not unusual to see a few well-known faces of the National Football League in these chairs. That's because Sharpline Cuts sits less than 3 miles from the training headquarters of the Washington Redskins.
Adrian Peterson came here, Josh Norman came here, Doug Williams, the former Super Bowl quarterback for the Washington Redskins, came here and got his hair cut. The field goal kicker, Dustin Hopkins, he's my client, he comes here. So just by the presence of these other guys, it just kind of like helps us solidify our success as a business.
I've been trying to get up in this Northern Virginia area for years now, you know, and just to come here, see the atmosphere, you know, the football athletes from the Redskins, the soccer athletes coming in here, and the variety of people that come in and get their hair cut, you know, it's amazing. You know, I love the atmosphere. It's a busy place. Everybody's making money. Frank has worked hard, you know, and diligently to do all the things that he had to do to get in this position, but Frank really deserved it. He really deserved it. He was my first teacher's aide at Haynesville, you know, and we spent 15 years together, you know, deciding what he's gonna do when he get out. And we bought in the business aspect, and I had no doubt in my mind that he was gonna be successful. I knew it.
He always used to encourage all of us that he believed that we can succeed, and he continuously spoke that into our life, that we could succeed. And he every day he would tell us what he was doing in terms of his profession, apart from the institution, his shop, and you know how he did it, and just the hard work and dedication that it would take to do that. So he really encouraged us to be the best that we could be and not to let any other obstacles stand in our way.
I had a tear come up my eye for the first time in all the visits, you know, and to see Mr. D.R. Basif come in the door of one of the last guys that works in here, it really touched me. It was touching, and the hug, you know, the embracement, you know, and just see that, hey man, he telling me that he loved what he doing, and he loves being here with Frank, you know, what Frank is doing for these guys.
Never fall in love with your profession. Remember that. Stay in love.
It is the most humbling experience, just seeing that they don't just stop at being a barber, that they excel and try to teach too, because they realize that the gift is not just for them, it's for everyone, you know. And just to see that they going into the mode of instruction, you know, and teaching themselves, it pleases me so much, you know. I'm gonna go back to my class, and I'm gonna take a light and humble heart with me when I go, and I'm gonna share the experience that I done had here today. You know, it was worth the travel, and it was worth seeing these guys doing what they do in the profession that we all love, you know, and how they have came out, them build homes and secure their families, you know, and just working, you know, working hard and diligently at what they do.
Y'all big brother forever, man. For real, I would say uncle, but I'm looking older than you.
Come on, boy. Pleasure meeting you, man. Actually meeting you. And Miss Howard.
Good meeting you guys too.
Last time y'all see me.